Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Basking Broodscale on the draw for game one. Slightly different list with Carpelucin Forest over our fetches. Some people are saying the fetches are better, some people are saying the forest are better. I'm here to try and figure out which. Kinda don't want any of these. I mean, the Saga's nice, though. We can grab the Saga. We also could go Cake Man if we draw into a E-Temp. So that's 4 hits off the top. It's not a bad idea to have Cake Man, though. With this Chromatic Sphere and Forest, it kind of feels like Tron. So I'm not sure if that's beneficial. I think maybe Saga then, that we can make some constructs on the following turn. I'll pass. Yeah, I'm thinking making constructs will be good, so that way we can beat down Karn when it inevitably gets cast. Yep, it is Tron as expected. Another sphere, so cycling it. Green, cycle, map. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Pretty slow start from them so far. We could always hold up Boseiju. Ancient Stirrings. Really? I mean, there's the E-Temp at least. So I'll grab Eldrazi Temple. Saga trigger. Blade and pass. Yeah. So we might want to just hold up Boseiju depending on what they play here. Get crack map, sure. Urza Tower plays and Star. Trigger Saga. Another temp. The question now becomes whether or not they have Tron. It's probably better for me just to go after the power plant now. Yeah. So power plant out. I guess I could have done it after they drew in case they would draw their basic, I suppose. Pass. Star Crack. So it looks like traditional Tron. There's a mine. We'll play the mine. Yep. 3. Pulse of Marasa. Huh. Oh, was not expecting that. I'll be real. Let's see. I will make a construct. I will grab Springleaf Drum. I will play E-Temp. Tap the construct. And cast Fleshraker. Now, what I would like to do is draw into a Broodscale. I mean, there's 8 cards at the bottom, so it should be 39 on top. There's Karn, so I wanted to get... on the what? So I wanted to get the construct on board. What is this? Oh, Cake Man. I see. Interesting. I guess they're afraid of the Broodscale, but... bit of a weird choice, in my opinion. Another Stirrings. 2 spawns in front of Karn. We can shrink the number of spawns. We also can just go Flesh Rake into Ballista. K command could get rid of one of them. You could then play Ballista X2, grow the construct, Flesh Rake triggers. Might not be a bad idea. Interesting. Flesh Rake into Flesh Rake's good though. That's the thing. Yeah, we'll go Flesh Rake. So, Flesh Rake, trigger, always yield. Always yield. ATB, trigger, land return, name Eldrazi. Ballista. Yeah, the Flesh Rakes present a pretty significant clock. I don't know if they can really ignore. Go to combat. All at Karn. Yep, they block and block. The good news is my creatures are pretty small too, so it is unlikely that a bridge will necessarily get them too far ahead. Though an Ulamog would be a bit rough here. Since this looks more like old school traditional Tron, I wonder if they play O-Stone still. Huh. Interesting. Oh. Well, I'll be honest, was not expecting that, of all things. Stars and Spheres with Mycospawn. Huh. Interesting. Karn minus for Leveler. Hit a Flesh Rake. It's a thought. Karn minus down to 4. I mean, they have enough for a leveler, so I imagine they go that route. Haywire Might. Really? Oh, because they have leveler main? Huh. K command. I mean, they're bogging up the board pretty well right now. There's the might. You can shrink the construct. Draw. Blade of the Bloodchief. Triggers. Play the forest, and I suppose have the construct attack Karn. And exile the blade. Yeah, the problem is this deck does not have a clean way of dealing with Karn without just beating it. Huh. We'll pass, but I'm thinking this is pretty much GG's. Minus Karn for... Again, okay, I was about to say, imagine you want to just play the Leveler. I'm not sure why they went for the Might earlier. Oliver hits Flesh Raker. What's my out here at this point? Emrakul, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You still actually have enough. Why are you sacking spawns? Big K command? Would be my only thought. Another Karn. But why use the spawns? It's likely going to result in a loss. Filigree Silex. Non-land permanent. What just happened? Didn't I have a Flesh Raker on board? Sacrifice, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number... Oh no, I guess they popped it with Leveler. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay. TKS will just get blown up. We'll take 11. If they have... whatchamacallit? I mean, why even cast it if it's just going to get popped? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So no way that we get to Emrakul. No way we deal with Karn. And no way to deal with Leveler. Especially if Trample, we'll just concede. There's a little way out. Yeah, that random freaking Pulse of Marasa out of nowhere. Unexpected. I just did not expect that whatsoever. I'm not sure if many people would. Let me be honest. So Damn Sphere in. Thief in. Pithy Needle. Escape's not bad. Dismember has some value if they play TKS. We didn't see TKS. We saw the Mycospawn though. So let's see. We cut Gemstone. We cut Bauble. Probably keep my cut a Rumble, 2 Ballista, a Flesh Rake. I'm not sure about the Wasescape. Let's cut the Wasescape. Keep the Thief. Maybe 1 TKS. Run it back like this. Yeah, it seemed right. Alright, let's run it back. I'd imagine opponent has too much a sideboard in. Let's see, we have Blade, we have Stirrings, Dismember, K command. Could be better, could be worse. Looking specifically for Basking Broodscale. Ancient Stirrings. No Broodscale, finds a Flesh Rake though, that is nice. Also finds a Boseiju. Wondering if that might be right. Opponent kept their opening 7. I'm gonna grab the Boseiju. I think that might be our best course of action. I have a Boseiju on hand in case they have Natural Tron. Interrupt. Start making constructs. Look like Natty Tron to me. Damn Sphere. Okay. In that case, I will play a Blade of the Blood Chief. Actually, do we want to play Blade if they just play that? We just Boseiju? Yeah, that seems right. We'll just hold. Hold up a Seiju, make a construct next turn. Maybe play Damp Sphere if we feel the need to. There's the mine. Why crack it now? Why not wait until I besiege you? Power plant. So that tells me that one of these are still in the hand. I'm going to go after the mine. I always like taking out the mine or power plant over the tower. End step. There's a forest. Trigger. Play Carpelucin. And I'll pass, and we'll be looking to make a construct. Plays the power plant. Yeah, Pulse Marasa again? No. Passing. End step. Make a construct. 3. 4. Paying cost. Cake Man X equals 1. Sure. We could play TKS, but I think I make a construct, get a Spring Leaf, play Cavernous Souls, play Damp Sphere. Spring Leaf. Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Damp Sphere. And pass. Next turn we can play TKS or K command. And pass. So they had a second tower. Map. And then passing. Draw. I don't like the land here, friend. We could keep the K command and just hold X equals 1. Otherwise, I can play the TKS and take a peek at what they're trying to play. Play the TKS. Let's take a look. See if we can strip Karn out. Again, would have loved the land instead, but it is what it is. Because you can map, you can grab a Seiju, I suppose. Beseiju the Sphere. Devourer, Mycospawn, Karn. K command. Take the Mycospawn. Yeah, I think we take the Mycospawn. Karn we can kind of deal with, but if they continue to ramp, he'll become an issue. I'll pass. Question is, do you crack map for the mine or crack map for Beseiju if you run it? Crack map. Interesting. We'll pass. Plays mine. Plays Karn, I imagine. Five, 6. Did he draw into another Mycospawn? No shot. That would be rather unfortunate if you did, admittedly. K command. Not ideal, but okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, yeah. Really short on lands here. I'm going to say no to Ugin. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, Oblivion Stone. Huh. I'll shoot. And another K command. Alright. Get rid of the Oblivion Stone. Because that would be a problem. But the Ugin's a problem as well. Issue. I'll have to sacrifice some spawns. Guess they could K command again. Nope, this time it's a kicked Myco. They take out a color source. Yeah, I'm in danger now. Another mine. 4 in hand. Draw. Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. About time we found a land. So I can attack with TKS. I have a K command, X equals 2 available. Yeah, I think I just hold K command here, so we'll go attacking. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, less than ideal. Really needed to land a lot earlier. Because right now they're more or less just taking over the game. Karn can probably grab a Haywire Mite unless they brought it into main. They really don't have a reason to block here. Interesting. And I guess they can just K command X equals 2. And that's what they're doing right now. Scry, draw, ramp, or exile. Exile. I will cast K command. And done. There's Emrakul. There's a second Dam Sphere. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we can start there if Emrakul. And we'll pass. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If we draw into an E temp, we have Emrakul. Otherwise, we have a K command, X equals 3 at a minimum, X equals 4 with the drum. Opponent 1 top, 1 bottom, draw. I'll hold in case we need to dismember. That's problematic. So they must have drawn into it, yeah. Haywire Mite hits Damp Sphere. That's a lot of mana you got, friend. 8, 10. There's Karn. Minus Karn for what? Liquid Metal. Cast Liquid Metal. second card. Well, shit. Yeah, that's fine. Not ideal, but fine. We can not kill a card next turn, actually. We'll be one short. Shoot. Actually, no, we're still one short. It's like, we had the blade. No, we don't. I can't equip it. Yep, that resolves. Karn pluses. Up to 6. And I can dismember the Myco spawn. Draw. Rumble. Let's start with a Rumble. Show me a land. That would be nice. Ooh, there's Pithy Needle. Also Dam Sphere. I mean, Pithy Needle can name Karn. That wouldn't be bad. At the same time, missing these land drops has been rough. So I'm thinking maybe grab Needle. Either that or we grab Dam Sphere. We play Dismember Myco spawn, Dam Sphere. Saga's not lasting more than a turn. We don't have an artifact in yard, but we will. We'll also have a creature in yard, so that should be 7. Yeah, I guess maybe the Pith is best. It's not ideal, though. Pithy Needle. Pithy Needle naming Karn the Great Creator. $7, $11. Early 10 because they're going to Liquid Metal on my turn. Karn the Great Creator. We have Dismember available still. Like, we should still knock down Karn. And that way we at least can take Liquid Metal offline. I'll pass. And at the very least on my turn I can K command X equals 2. On the Fresh Owls this. 13. I guess they were seeing how much mana they had. I mean, I think you play Ugin here. Ugin 0 into Devourer would be my thought. Yep, we'll pass in full. Ugin plus, interesting. Another land, Blast Zone. Well, shit. And a Sowing Myco spawn? So hits my land, grabs a tower, pops the Blast Zone. Wait, what? Why wouldn't you grab a tower? Am I confused? Why would you not pop the Pithy Needle? Huh. Yes. Float resolves. Dismember target Myco spawn. Draw. Blades, not it. I need lands. Oh boy. As much as I want to hit down Karn, we need to hit down Ugin first. The thing is, Blast Zone's gonna be online. Wild. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just dead. Like, we're slowly bleeding out here. We're trying to keep it together. Another Sowing Myco spawn. And that was just a draw off the top. Left of 2 colorless mana. I mean, you just play the Devourer, it's a blocker. Yep. Chrome Sphere, redraw. Again, not sure why you're not popping the Blast Zone. Seven. Destroy each non-land permanent if mana cost equals number of charge counters. Yeah, I'm confused. But okay. So I can't do much of anything now. Hey, look at that in E-Temp. That's amazing. Very late. Again, we're sitting at 11. I will pass. I can't do much there. Are we finally popping to Blast Zone? Yes. Uh-huh. Well, I mean, I can K command X equals 2. Right now, our best hope is this Emrakul. Karn minus for what? Wait, did Karn just plus on nothing? Am I confused? I feel like Karn plus on nothing. Another Karn. Okay. I will float. Now they should phase change here before plussing. They do not. And that's fine. Not fine, but it is what it is. I need to find lands. Star. I'm just going to say yield until the turn. I can't do anything about that. Green. Yep. Draws a card. If I can find a way to Emrakul, we might still be in it. But I'm not sure how that's going to work. Pulse. Okay. Stirrings. Alright. Draws another card. Let me just draw on all the cards now. And 7. Another Devourer hits nothing. Yep. Alright, in that case, let's K command X equals 2. Fleshrake Saga. 7, 9. That's not gonna cut it. What I really need is a green source thief. Half lane is not it. Pass, and I think at that point I lose. Why are you attacking with Myco Spawn? What? Draw. I'll concede at that point. Unfortunate. Alright. Unsurprisingly, Karn is a good card against Broodscale. Who woulda thunk? Alright. We'll be back for match number 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2 on the draw for game 1. I'll keep here. Another E-Temp's good, a Delighted Halfling's good, so 7 hits there alone. Force Blade or Broodscale's solid. Ooh. Okay, well that's making me think this is a lot worse of a hand than I'd otherwise like. Forest, Springleaf, and pass. I guess maybe I should have won E-Temp. My main concern there is Basaju, I suppose. Would be a bit rough. In your battlements. Passing, draw. Blade of the Blood Chief. Okay. Well, if I can find a Broodscale, I cannot. Finds a Fleshraker. I'll grab the Fleshraker. And we'll play the Blade. And pass. And pass. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. So that is 6. Alright. Do you have the Grazer for a red source? You need double green. So that was a +3. There's prime time. Lotus Field, Mirror Pool. Yeah, they seem to know what they're doing, so we're gonna go ahead and concede. Because with double Amulet, it's GG's. No sense in belaboring the point. So we want Wastecape Battle Mage, Damp Sphere, Thief. We can cut the Vexing Bauble, Gemstone. Excuse me. Want the Might. Cut a TKS and run it back like this? Yes. The Soul Guide Lantern is something to consider as well in this matchup. It's good to have. They go for the Aftermath Analyst plan. I'm not sure if it's entirely necessary. You probably cut a TKS for it. It's a thought. Cut a TKS for Soul Guide. It really is just to cut off the Aftermath Analyst plan. And if they decide to go through with a different route instead, like the Titans, they can find Basaju to force me to crack the Soul Guide early. So there's a bit of a give and take. on the play for game 2. Okay, we can make this work. Looking for Broodscale, of course. Opponent begins the game with 7. They have a pregame action? Gemstone Caverns? Oh, that's unfortunate if so. No, turn 1 upkeep. They just have a pause on upkeep and might not realize it. That's all. Yeah, he thinks opponent may have stepped away from the computer. Never mind. There we go. We're back. Ancient Stirrings. Huh. I mean, Wastegate Battle Mage is good. Damp Sphere is also good. I think we go Damp Sphere here. We'll pass and pass. We'll go Urza Saga Damp Sphere. Echoing Depth. There's Amulet. Draw. E-Temp. We could just thief the Amulet. I think that's correct here. Amulet Vigor down. And pass. There's Beseju, Grazer. Bounce land, picks up Beseju. Yep, so they're telegraphing they have the Beseju. Doesn't look like they have another amulet effect. So let's go Saga. Hold up the K command. Go to combat. Otherwise, the Damp Sphere is likely just to get hit by the Beseju next turn. Which is fine, but not ideal. If we can hit correctly, we might just be able to win next turn. Shifting Woodland and passing. But pause on end step. End step. K command. X equals 2. I need Broodscale to pay off. That's what I need. Wastegate Battle Mage Saga. Wastegate's not bad, but again, they need a... I mean, it's not a bad idea to have that just kind of in our pocket. Yeah. Another Saga. Top. Bottom draw. And draw. Flesh Rake. Trigger. Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. Cast Flesh Rake. Blade is mana neutral. And Damp Sphere. Well, clearly Besage you the damn sphere, but that's fine. You have enough for a construct. Attack with a thief. Paying cost for dismember. Draws a card. Yep. Triggers. And yep, we'll pass. Let's see the Beseiju. Really? No I guess they couldn't Beseiju because of the damn sphere, right? So I took 4 to mitigate 3. Vesuva. Saga. And Step will make a construct. And then we'll Wayscape their Saga. Alright. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we actually do have the win. So 4. Okay, so let's do this then. Float Saga. Grab Second Blade. Traverse the Uvenwall. Grab Basking Broodscale. Play Grove. 1, 2. Or I guess 1, 2, 3. Broodscale. Triggers. Equip the Broodscale. You can Beseiju it, but then I get a land. With that land, I can then equip the second one. From there, I win. Opponent scoops it up. Good stuff. All right. Thank you, Traverse. All right, let's move to game 3. We want Gemstone back. We'll cut a TKS. And run it back. On the draw for game 3. I will keep. We have the blade, we have finishers. Pass in full. Amulet. Alright, would love to see a Wayscape Battle Mage or a Thief. Saga. Forest. Halfling. And pass. And pass. The amulet could very well be an issue, depending on what else they have in hand. You have 4 hits off the top that are ideal, Wayscape and Thief. Spelunking. Maybe. Maybe not. Guess we could also find Beast with him. Huh. Okay. That is interesting. Grove of the Burn Willows. Another Blade of the Blood Chief or a Halfling. Neither of these are really appealing, if I'm to be honest. I will go for the Blade, I suppose. Maybe the Halfling. Because we'll play the E-Temp. We have 1, 2. Yeah, we'll go for the Blade. The Halfling's kind of worse off later. Go to combat for 3. And we'll pass at this point. That was a bold move for the Beast with him. Plays a forest, I imagine. Plays a mirror pool. Okay. 3. Spelunking. Okay, so they have 2 amulet effects. Plays Vesuva. Gruul Turf. Triggers 2. Picks up the mirror pool. Plays the mirror pool. Yep. And draw. Grove. Not what I wanted to see. So I'm wondering if... Yeah, I think this is probably right. Go E-Temp. X equals 2 or 3. If I do 2, it opens up a Seiju, right? Yeah, it opens up a Seiju. Whereas if I go 3, we're really digging for Damp Sphere. I think we go 2. We have 4 hits off the top. TCast Broodscale. Well, there's Broodscale. TCast we can't play. Broodscale we can win next turn. Maybe just play the Blade. No, we should hold up the K command. X equals 1. There's a chance that is relevant. Attack for 3. Down for 15. And hold the K command. Yeah, them hitting the land definitely set me back a bit. That's for sure. Alright, do you have the Titan? You have the Titan, but you only have 1 amulet effect. That is relevant. So you can haste it, Hainweir, and a red source. Yep. So you have 1 colorless floating as a result. You already have fused Vesuva. So I imagine when you attack, you probably just grab Bounce Land Boseiju. Yeah, that'd be my guess. Bog. Oh, that's interesting. They might have Boseiju in hand then? Alright. Bog hits. Picks up a forest. Down to 13. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grove of the Burn Willows. Cast Broodscale. cast Blade. Equip Blade to Broodscale. Sack a spawn? Yes. Always yield. Do you have interaction? You do not. Sack spawn. One have the ability to adapt in response. Always yes, always yield. Oh, maybe I should have done it the other way. Otawara. Should I have adapted first and then sacked? I mean, I don't think it matters, right? Because Broodscale. But you can re-equip. Sack. Always yes. So let's start with this. Basically representing lethal damage by equipping to a beast. And opponent will concede. Yeah, I wonder if I should have adapted before sacking, because I guess if they then attempt to respond to the adapt, we sack, and then trigger. So that may have been a missequence when looking back at it. Alright, that's good to think about in the future. Rather than sacking, where we can then adapt at instant speed, but if we already have the token and the trigger on the stack, then we can't adapt. So adapt first, make the spawn, and if they try and interact in response to the adapt, then we have the spawn. If they don't, then we have two spawns, and we can respond to anything in real time with the second spawn. So we got lucky there that we had enough mana, but that definitely could have gone wrong. Good news is, we got the win regardless, so we'll be back for match number 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. Claim Fleshraker, Broodscale, just missing the blade. I'll keep it. We can play the Broodscale ahead of the Fleshraker just to draw some interaction, I suppose. Play Grove, pass. And pass. What say you, opponent? What you playing? The Gruul is a pretty good indicator of what I'm playing. Though, I mean, I guess it could be Through the Breach, but unlikely. I think Through the Breach mainly ran the Carplucin. There's Scouting Tarn, so yeah, we'll definitely play the Cavern. There's the Blade. Cavern Souls, name Eldrazi. Alright, let's see this draw some aggro. What I really need is for them to tap down so we can cast the Blade without any issue. Steam Vent Shock for lightning. Yep, that's fine. We'll pass. Dark Slick. Draw. So Grixis, second Blade. Interesting. Clearing Fleshrake, we'll pass. If the Fleshrake resolves and sticks on board, We do have the ability to cast Emrakul and or win next turn. If it doesn't, then we have to be a little bit more mindful because 2, 4, 6. You need 6 mana. Draw. K command. Attempt to resolve Blade of the Bloodchief. Trigger. It's mana neutral, so they counter it, that's fine. Counterspell. Perfect. In that case, I'll cast a second Blade of the Bloodchief. Cast a Basking Broodscale. I feel like if they had a Fatal Push, they would have already used it. Because they could have a Bolt, but then again, I feel like they would use it. And Bone scoops it up. We got there. Control of some form. That is what we're playing against. Control of some form. Clearly Grixis control. Let's see here. Am I worried about subtlety? Maybe. If it's Grixis control, it could be Snapcast, so maybe Soul Guide is relevant. Tamiya might be relevant, so Dismember, Thief. Wasescape, question mark? TKS is good. Cut the Bauble, cut the Might. Cut Ballista. Don't know if Fire Spout's relevant. Grafter Crusade. Soul Guide might be. Cut a Flash Rake. And maybe leave it at that. Yeah? Yeah, let's leave it at that, I suppose. Alright. I guess we could bring in the Pithy Needle for Tamiya, theoretically. Yeah, probably not, though. I mean, it's a turn 2 Flesh Rake into... I mean, turn 2 Flesh Rake or turn 2 TKS. Yeah, this looks good. That's where my allergies come up at the worst times. I want to play the Grove into Halfling, Temple into either TKS or declaring Flesh Rake if the Halfling survives. Ragavan. Well, I'm probably going to snap block the Ragavan unless they kill it. In which case, if they kill it, then we might just Ballista so we can ping the Ragavan. Swamp. Fatal Push? Yep. Ragavan hit. In that case, maybe I'll Saga Ballista. So I can start making constructs. Eats a blade, that's fine. Not the end of the world. End step. I am worried about a spell snare or counter spell for Ballista, I suppose. No, better for Ballista to eat that than Flesh Rake or TKS. Another blade. Okay. Saga trigger. Ballista. Ballista resolves. We'll hold then. No reason to ping it now. And hold. You know, just snap block. Undercity Sewers. And combat, attack. Go to blocks. Block the Ragavan. Ragavan down. They do have access to double blue. Second Ragavan. In that case, yeah, we'll go for a construct. I guess they only have access to one blue now, though. Ooh. Well, that does change things. E-temp. I think we'll clear the way of TKS. Well, I guess they could have Consign. I guess that's true. They could have Consign, whereas instead we could just make a construct. In that case, I'll pass. Just make a construct to threaten the Ragavan. As much as I would like to TKS right now. I really want to make sure this Ragavan does not make contact. Combat. Attack. Because if the construct eats a removal spell, that's good. That again clears the way for the Broodscale. Block. Pass in full. Paying cost for Frog. Frog is fine. They have double blue up now. Triple blue up. Huh. One card in hand, though. And they're paying cost? For what? Abhorrent Oculus. We might be able to win. Trigger. We have 4, 5, 6. 6 mana, right? Trigger. So if I go Springleaf Drum. I mean, Springleaf Drum basically acts as Blade. Because it pays for the Blade's cast. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 5. Yes, we grab the Blade. Forest. E-temp Grove. Equip. Adapt. Always yes. Always yield. One of these days I'm going to press always no. I'm going to cry. Trigger. Always yield. And what say you, friend? One more. Here's the Flesh Rake. Trigger. Always yield. And Bone Scoops it up. Clean win against Grixis Oculus? Yeah, I guess we'll classify it as Oculus. Alright. Solid win. We'll be back for match 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. I will keep. Blade off top is good, TKS is good, Flesh Raker is good, Lotus Blue, okay. So we just need to outrace them. Draw. More than one Delighted Halfling, not so good. Gain some life. And pass. And pass. Yeah, we definitely need to Kozilek's command here and try and dig. Flesh Rake. Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. Flesh Rake. Pass. Yeah, the reason why I wasn't keen on holding up the Cake Man there is because they probably have a Jawari Disruption. I'd rather play around that if at all possible. Oh. Well, that makes things interesting. We can try and resolve the blade. Yeah, let's try and resolve the blade. Trigger. Always yield. Always yield. It resolves. It resolves. Green. Colorless. Triggers. This can't be countered, and you don't have a Sink in the Stupor available. So this should just result in the win. Yep, we got there. This is Belcher. Win for game 1. Very good top decks there, that is for sure. So we're going to want Pithy Needle. Dismember. Damp Sphere really doesn't cut it. Vaccine Bubble's good. Pith is good. Might is okay. Might is okay. TKS is good. Soul Guide Lantern's okay. The biggest thing about Haywire Might is that it's a bit of a pipe dream that we're going to exile a Belch, similar to where we're going to Soul Guide a Lotus. That's a bit more reasonable, I suppose. Thief again, kind of a pipe dream that we're going to thief a Charbelcher or a Lotus Bloom. Yeah, I'm thinking something like this. Alright, let's run it back. And one thing I like about TKS, it's always going to be good into the blind. Whereas Chrysalis, not always. I mean, TKS is great, but we really need some ramp here. I'll keep, so we either need to see Halfling or Temple. We'll pass. And draw. Broodscale. Okay, now I'm wanting to see a blade. There's the blade. Interesting. The alternative is that we could grab Saga, but we can't play Saga next turn if you want to play the Broodscale. We'll grab the blade. I'll pass. We do need more lands, though. I think next turn we play the Broodscale. Love to see a land. Okay. And draw. TKS. Not what I want to see right now. Name Eldrazi. Broodscale. Pass. And pass. I mean, if Blade resolves, we get to equip it. Rumble. I guess we can start with Blade. Does Blade resolve? So we could attempt to equip. We also could Ancient Stirrings here. Attempting to equip makes the most sense. Let's see if they have a sink in the stupor. They're fearful of a ballista. They're not. Wish I had it, but I don't. Alright. I mean, it comes down to whether or not they have the win. What is this? Oh. Razor grass. Yeah? Honestly, did not think about that. Oh, I fell into that random trap. My mind was like, might as well attack, but apparently that was a mistake. Philology. Grab Stern Scolding? No, probably Jawari. Yeah, fell into a trap. Yeah, I forgot that sometimes they run the Razor Grass. Not every list does, but... in that case, I'll fire off a Rumble. Huh. I'm not entirely worried about Belcher right now. I'm more trying to see if there's a way for us to win. Grab a basic forest, especially in case of a Harbinger. So we're digging deep. Yeah, that'll be an unfortunate way to lose, though, if that does happen. Flesh Rake, we'll grab the Flesh Rake. And hope to find a land off top, if not a... whatchamacallit? Broodscale. So we can Flesh Rake, we can TKS. Down to 14. Of course, now they're going to play... I guess they could whir into Tameshi for the win? Whir. 5. Yep. Blue Tameshi. Uh-huh. So 4, 7. I mean, if you have the Charbelch, you win. Oh, it's so upsetting that I punted to a Razor Grass. And I guess that's a good lesson to learn of, I guess, just play around Razor Grass into Belcher. Otherwise, we would have had the win. Most likely, it's possible they may have had some form of interaction that we otherwise wouldn't have seen. Because all we had to do is wait a turn, adapt, and win. There's 5. That's 8. Do you have the Charbelch? Seven. Seagate? Yes. So I drew 9 cards. Yeah, the mana for Charbelch, but will you play Charbelch? Harbinger, okay. And Trainer. Picks up Lotus Bloom. Exiles Lotus Bloom. Yes. Imagine they have Flare, but yeah. Draw. E-Temp. Yeah, that could present an issue based on my current hand. Let's see if Flesh Raker resolves. Always yield. I'm doubtful that this does. I imagine a Flare of Denial will take the Flesh Rake. Yep. At that point, I'll pass him full. And I think we just end up getting beaten down at this point. Well, not necessarily true. Razor Grass Amalgam. I'm actually curious if that is stock now. I didn't think it was, but it very well could be. Let's take a look. Charbelch. Is Razor Grass stock? One of in the most recent list. Like in 58% of the decks, there's a one of. So I guess it's probably just correct to play around it going forward. Alright. Take 5 down to 13. The only thing that we can grab that makes colorless now would be a halfling. Well, that works. Broodscale. Consign. Yep. Pass. Well, I was hopeful. Wasn't likely, but I was hopeful. Plaza, yep. No white sources, so we don't have to worry about Tameshi Lotus Bloom yet. Next turn, though, if they have a Charbelcher, they win. Blue, blue, Pelagie. Pelagie finds... Imagine the Water Grove. Yep. Or Waterlog Teaching. Draw. Pass. Down to 3. Yeah, I think I lose. Unfortunate. Yeah, that's just a rough way to lose. But I guess it at least made me look at the deck list and see that they run the Razor Grass. I think it's the only thing that they'd be able to play at instant speed to interact with it, short of a sync. Tameshi. 7, 8. And Charbelch. And Charbelch sees Island on top. No, not gonna happen. We'll take a look at the rest of the deck. Into the Flood Maw. Yep, okay. Sounds good. Unfortunate way to lose, but it is what it is. We cut the gemstone, bring back in a ballista, and run it back like that. I'll run it back like that. I guess Fire Spout also clears Tameshi, but instant speed removal is more necessary than sorcery speed, and also we can't play Fire Spout underneath Harbinger, which kind of sucks. Yeah, not having, like, the closest thing we have to Talismans, of course, is the Halflings. But not being able to generate, like, red sources, or red with Halfling is rough. Unfortunate. But lesson learned. Trying to think if there's anything else. Again, there's really nothing else that we want to grab back or bring in from the side here. Yeah, the Soul Guide. Cage doesn't do it. Sphere does nothing of real value. Yeah. Alright, on the play for game 3. I'll keep... So we're going Saga first. Because we can resolve Broodscale on 2. We're in a solid spot. And pass. If they bolt, we might have to hold back a turn. They don't. Good. Draw. Trigger. Rumble. Interesting. See, Rumble lines me up to win next turn versus Broodscale. No, I guess we still are lined up to win next turn because we equip, we adapt K command. So it's best to cast the Broodscale now while shields are down. We'll pass and pass. Because equip, adapt, trigger K command. Bolt 2. Under trap. Would love a second win con so we can play around the Flare of Denial. But I guess we can first TKS and then K command. Yeah. Draw. Beseiju. Float. Blade. Blade of the Blood Chief. E-temp. Adapt. Always yes. Always yield. So now we can run out the TKS to clear the way for the K command. Not to mention, if they were to flare here, Broodscale can just attack in. TKS. Yeah, they're kind of in a catch-22, right? If they flare, they lose. So the only counterspell that they would be able to utilize would be a Force. And TKS is unaffected by Force. So let's see. There's Flare. We'll just eat the Flare. Yeah, there's nothing else we need to worry about. And I have K command. We can just K command X equals 2 and win. Yeah, we could just do that. Go up to 17 at least. Because they have Char Belcher, Sink, Thunder Trap, Waterlog, Flare. Flare's already gone though. K command. Exile. Scry draw. Just in case it's relevant. Alright, solid stuff. And definitely should have won in game 2, but we're at least able to get there overall. Alright, well, we'll be back for match 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. No green sources, but we have Basking, Broodscale, and Saga. Um, Interesting. I mean, if we draw into a green source, which we have 11 of them, not including Cavernous Souls, so 13 for Eldrazi, we could get there. I'll keep. It's risky, don't get me wrong. Saga, trigger, pass. Worst on the worst, next turn we can K command cycle. Sewers. What do you put? Keep it on top, okay. Let's see a green source. Rumble, no dice on the green source. Saga, trigger. We could force check here. Otherwise, potentially running into a spell snare instead. I will force check. Scry, draw, ramp, and done. Whiff. That's not encouraging. So there is a thought to grabbing Might off of the first Saga and Springleaf off the second. Draw. Green source? Yikes. Float. Oh. I mean, I guess alternatively I could Bobble Draw? Bobble Draw might be better. And let's go Bobble Draw. Draw a card. Brutal. 11 hits, 3 draws in, 13 hits, 3 draws in, and nothing. Actually, 4 draws in, right? Yeah. Because we cycled the K command. Pitch a halfling. Yeah, 13 and 4. Hexing Bobble out, pitch the halfling, and pass. Now I'm curious on what my odds were there. Let's see. Hyper, geometric, calculator. MTG. Aether Hub. So population size of, what was it, 54? Draw, trigger. How many draws is that now? We've drawn 3 for turns, 2 more 5. Brutal. I mean, at this point, I very well just might be better off conceding. I'll grab the blade, but then we pass? Maybe I should have grabbed the Springleaf? Maybe I should have went with the initial plan of like, hey, where my Springleaf? But like, that's brutal. Sample size, number of cards. We'll pitch a TKS and pass. So 5 cards. Success in population's 13. Number of wanted. Yeah, across 5, we had like a 76% chance. Wait, what the fresh what? Huh? Karn? What? My confusion. Okay. Well, my deck at this point just said, screw you, no lands. Um, yeah, that's wild. That is wild. I mean, I was half tempted to just continue, but now I'm just confused about Karn. Karn. Huh. So we'll bring in Thief. Bring in Pithy Needle. Keep the Haywire Mite. Cut the Gemstone. Because, yeah, 8, 10, 11, 13. What am I playing against? Blue-black Karn. Coffers? Question mark? Like, Thief is a yes. I'm not sure about the Wasescape, though. Huh. I'll cut a Ballista for now and maybe get some more information in game 2. Yeah. I was not sure about the Haywire Mite either. Maybe keep the Ballista, cut the Mite. Oh, actually, we still can cut the Bauble. Right. So we have room for a card. Maybe we do bring in... I mean, they had... Oh, you know what it could be? It could be blue-black Eldrazi mid? Maybe. Maybe bring in Wasescape? Cut Ballista, Flesh Rake. Yeah, let's run it back like this. I'm perplexed, so I'm not sure how to necessarily sideboard here. On the play for game 2. Really, no green sources again. I mean, we could go Cavernous Souls, name Halfling, play Halfling, hold up K Command X2. It's not ideal, but it's not bad. Cavernous Souls, name Halfling. Halfling. Pass. And pass. So we have K Command. Okay, so maybe it is Coffers. Blue-black Coffers. With Frog? Frog Karn? Interesting. Very interesting. Draw. Forest. We could just hold the E-temp or hold the K command. Alternatively, I could Forest Rumble. Forest Rumble's tempting because then if we find a blade, we could traverse the following turn. And let's start there. Try and find a blade. There's a blade. Is Traverse online? No, we're at 3. I'll play the blade and pass. And hold just in case they have Bowmaster. Double black, no blue. So not worried about counter magic yet. We'll hold. Draw. Ballista. Ballista does get us a Typing Yard. I think I'm going to first cast Glaring Flesh Rake to try and see if we can bait out some form of interaction, because it feels like they have a Fatal Push. At the same time, by doing that... No, we'll just go K Command. And I'll go K Command X equals 4. blue. Could have consign now. They do, we'll eat it. That's fine. Still enough types in yard for traverse. The thing I'm most worried about is removal here. Expedition? What the fresh what? Huh. End step? I really want a TKS so I can take a peek, honestly. Because I'm just confused at this point. Actually, I probably shouldn't sack the spawn. X equals 3. Do you have a consign? You do. Okay. Draw. Forest. I mean, we could just go for it with the traverse. If they don't have the fatal push, we win. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, kind of interested in something. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it'd only be 12. Alright. Traverse. I guess we could wait a turn. Go Broodscale. I suppose, I'm trying to think sequencing wise. 1, 2, 3, Flesh Rake, Broodscale. Yeah, we can go Flesh Rake first. Broodscale will trigger Flesh Rake, then we'll have 2, sack 1, yeah. Flesh Rake. Broodscale. Triggers. Always yield. And if they don't have the push, we win. I imagine they do. The other option was to traverse and just hold for Emrakul next turn. May have not been a bad idea. We'll find out. Alright, late equip. Always yield. And cost. Yep, there's the push. I was kind of hoping that they would let it equip so that way I could ballista. But they did not. Alright, well, I'll hold in case of a Bowmast. I mean, next turn we can ballista X equals 3, which would be nice, I suppose. Blue-black coffers. Huh. I mean, if I top deck another Broodscale, I win. Ancient Historian's Rumble would be good. So that's 3, 5. Another K command would be fine. Coffers, but scary. Gain 4. Crack map. Crack map. Why? Is that really your best play? Or Watery Grave. Okay. Push. Okay, yeah, that makes sense now. That makes sense. And they hold up Consign. Rumble. This is for halflings, so we can use this Rumble trigger. Saga, Pithy Needle. Saga seems like the best bet here, because then we can make constructs. Trigger. Ballista. You have a Consign. If we can Consign here, that'd be fine. I think this also puts the 7th type in yard, so top decking Emrakul would be decent. Okay. Nope. What am I missing in yard now? Land? No, we have land. Sorcery, instant, creature, artifact. Oh, enchantment. Saga. Thankfully that will come soon enough. Go to combat. Swing for 1. 3 cards in hand. We'll pass. What in the fresh hell is that? Amass Orcs X. Huh. Active only if a creature has died this turn. That's good to know. End step. So again, we have the Saga, so we'll make constructs and go for construct beats. They're holding up blue source, but I've already used 2 consigns. Emrakul. I mean, we can make an uncounterable Emrakul. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I mean, I think this is just correct. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unfortunately, no construct, but I think Emrakul is just as good. Alright. You have a consign. Emrakul can't be countered thanks to Halfling. And I imagine you removing this will be quite difficult. And phone scoops it up. Huh. Alright, so this is Cabal Coffers. Let's go to sideboard. Is there a world where Damp Sphere is correct? Maybe. I mean, Coffers is kind of their main shtick on, like, turn 4. So ready to cut Ballista. TCAS seems decent. Not sure about the Wastegate, actually. So maybe cut the Wastegate, bring in Damp Sphere instead. We didn't see much else. The Thief still makes sense given there's Karn in the mix. Pithy Needle makes sense because there's Karn. Yeah, maybe run it like this. Yeah, let's do that. Interesting. Game 3. I mean, there's Halfling into Flesh Rake on 2 Damp Sphere as well, ahead of their Coffers. So I think this makes sense. Hold up Beseiju as well. Opponent goes down to 6. They fail to push the half lane, then we can go from there. But there's a Thoughtseize Expedition map. That's fine. Expedition map and coffers. Interesting. E-temp. So we should be able to cast the Flesh Rake regardless. We'll pass. And pass. We'd be one short of the Flesh Rake and the Sphere, though. Thoughtseize. This is interesting. Do you take the Sphere or take the Flesh Rake? Imagine the Flesh Rake. Which, not ideal, but fine. Yep. Really? You missed your land drop? No. I was about to say, that would be quite unfortunate for you. Draw. Besaju's up. Broodscale. Interesting. I mean, if we just have another threat on board, I think that's good. Not much else we can do after this, though. So, play the Broodscale, go to combat, swing at you for 1. And pass. Looted Delta. 3 in hand. Draw. Saga. Saga trigger. I will attempt to adapt. Always yes, always yield. I'll play Dampening Sphere. I mean, if this eats a consign, then I'm pretty happy about it. Lose focus. Huh. What in the what? Okay. Wild. Down to 11. Looted Delta fetched to 10. We have 4 damage on board, and we're looking at Saga, our constructs, next turn. Excuse me. Excuse me. Because we can also Besaju the Cabal Coffers. Well, there's Coffers, but it's not making a lot. Draw. Trigger. Play E-temp, go to combat. Damage to 6. What do you grab with a map? Imagine other coffers, either that or Urborg. Urborg? In that case, I will go and Besaju now. Another Undercity Sewers, that resolves. Make a construct and we'll have lethal on board. Yeah, the Urborg's fine. So are they just petering out at this point? 3 unknowns in hand. Again, lethal on board. If they sweep, we just still make a construct and Bone scoops it up. We'll take the win against Coffers. Good stuff. Alright. Well, overall, solid league there. 4-1 at the end of 5 with the updated list. Again, the main difference is just being the mana base, as well as the 4th TKS, which felt good. TKS, like I said, always good into the blind. I really do like TKS. I even like it a little bit more, like I said, than Chrysalis. I think it's just better into the blind, more consistent overall, and just has a higher impact on turn 2. Again, Halfling, great on turn 1. Worse in the mid to late game when you draw into it. It is a rough draw, admittedly. But I feel like this deck has a lot of rough top decks. So I'm not sure if that really is a knock against it, as much as just understanding that in a combo deck, there are definitely going to be the weak links that are played later down the road. But with that being said, that there will be the end of today's video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It'd be much appreciated. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. At which point, I'm going to start monetizing my videos, allowing me to start saving up towards a stream PC so I can stream live over on Twitch. In the meantime, though, if you do want to support me monetarily, you can do so over my Patreon, where you get early access to my YouTube videos and any updates I make to my deck guides. With that being said, though, folks, I will see you next time. Bye-bye!